What's up, party people? Welcome back to the channel. This is Sick, somewhere in Colorado. In this video, I am gonna talk to my people that have been loyalists and been watching the channel for a while now. I'm gonna give you guys an inside scoop of what's happening in Mr. Murphy's life. They've been going through some changes, and I'm gonna let you guys know kind of where I'm at, what's going on, because if you haven't noticed yet, I took off. I'm out of Denver, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit of a story, a little fireside chat with Mr. Murphy here of how I came to be in Denver, Colorado, and why I got the hell out of there. So if you're into that, let's go. Hey guys, welcome back. Like I said, I am Sean Murphy. If you know me, then you know me. If you don't know me, then you're probably gonna hate this video because you probably don't care who the hell I am and the story I have to tell. We've been running this channel for it's coming up on 3 years now. And so I freaking love our YouTube channel. I love our YouTube people because you guys already know me. I hope you like me and you trust me, and that's why you reach out to me to help you find your perfect place in Colorado. It makes things a lot easier. Hands down, the best thing I've ever done with business is this channel right here. The reason I haven't done this yet is because I hate talking about myself, actually. I hate this talking about myself. Like I said, I haven't told you guys anything about me. So let's cue some music and let's get on into it. This is a casual conversation. I got a little Tito's and a little soda, a little raspberries because it's Sunday and I'm getting fancy over here. So I'm gonna tell you how I first came out here to Colorado in early 2008, but let me tell you why we're even having this conversation. There was a virus that went around that shut down the whole country, basically. We're not gonna name it for YouTube reasons, but you know, flu-like symptoms had happened, and me and my business, I was really big into open houses because I could have one-on-one conversations with people, but all of a sudden, I couldn't do open houses anymore. So I was like, we gotta do something. We gotta keep this money train going, and we gotta keep business coming in. We got mouths to feed. We got D'Artagnan. We got my business partner, Matt. We have agents. We have inside sales agents on the team. We got a whole support team behind me that helps me look like a rock star, but they like to eat food every day. And so we had to figure something out. And I always liked the idea of video. I've always done a little bit of video. I've made plenty of videos to start. And I was like, all right, well, if I have all this additional time that I'm not doing open houses, I'm gonna start slinging some videos. This started right around like May of 2000. Yeah, right when the virus was going around and we knew that stuff was gonna change for a minute. So if you guys have been with me for a minute, I love you, I appreciate you. I don't know if I've said that enough, but you guys are awesome. But let me take you back. So I'm originally from Youngstown, Ohio. Great city to be from. I'm glad I left. It's a rough city. It's an old steel town. It's in the area called the Rust Belt. And I didn't know much because we grew up poor. I didn't know where I wanted to be. I didn't travel much. But I did know that when I graduated college, I needed to get the hell out of Youngstown. So I went to Clarion University. It's about an hour north of Pittsburgh. And I ran track and cross country on that team. My senior year, well, I got a new coach. He came from Adams State, Colorado, which is in Alamosa, like south central Colorado. And he's like, hey, if you want to go train with Adams State over the summer and come back and be a freaking beast, I'll set you up. I'll connect you with the team. Adams State is the powerhouse in Division II track and cross country. So I came up here to train one summer, drove back on the way back through. I mean, there's not much in Alamosa, but I did come through Denver and I was like, hey, good enough, right? I was like, I don't know many places. Like I said, I didn't really travel much as a kid, maybe a little bit of like Myrtle Beach and stuff like that. I didn't really know much of the country. Now I'm gonna tell you how old I am. December 2007 is when I graduated. You can see how uncomfortable I am by how red my ears are right now. When my ears are red, I'm getting nervous.
You know what? I never talk about myself. I should just do it.
But 2007, I graduated in December, and I said by January 22nd of 2008, if I don't have a job, I'm packing up my two-door 1993 Cavalier and I'm gonna hit the road and I'm gonna figure it out. I told too many of my friends. I had to own up to it. January 23rd came around and I started driving. No place to go yet. no job yet. I just took off. So I drove across the country 24 hours and I landed on Sloan's Lake. There's a Starbucks just on the west side of Sloan's Lake. It used to be a Magic Johnson Starbucks.
Oh, now you're gonna tell me now.
That's neither here nor there. But I stopped into this Starbucks and I opened a newspaper. That's right, I said a newspaper because we didn't have Craigslist bumping and we didn't have Facebook groups and we didn't have all this stuff to help you find places out here. We didn't have Zillow and Trulia, none of that yet. So I opened a newspaper and I started looking for places. I came out here with less than $1,000. I do not advise this for anyone. But I looked in the paper and I saw several places that had like a room for rent. I went and the next day I looked at like 5 of these places. I stayed at a hotel that night on Wadsworth, and then the next day I went out and met with a bunch of these people. Now the story of who I lived with, the man I met, he was renting out 3 bedrooms to 3 different guys, super creepy weirdo. We called him Rand Man, aka the Dungeon Master. That is a different story for a different time. Essentially, I linked up with this one property. The guy was so weird and so crazy that I only stayed there for I think like 4 months. But luckily, one of the other guys that was renting a room there, he had just moved from California. Me and him looked at each other. We said, this guy is freaking nuts, right? Right, let's get the fuck out of here. So we took off and got a place together. And after that, my next 12 years in Colorado, I literally moved every year. I hate moving. Moving sucks. But moving to each different part of the city, I got to see so many different lifestyles. I've been all over the place. But my first stop with Rand Man, aka Dungeon Master, I was right over by like the Colorado Mills Mall. When I first came out here, I came on some hard times, had to sell my car, but kept my bike. So I'd ride my bike to Starbucks in the morning and then Mimi's Cafe in the evening to work. Just trying to make it happen. When I moved to Colorado, one of the things that I immediately loved about it is just the lifestyle, like the mental change that came with living in a new city. It was exactly what I needed as a young go-hard, being active, getting outdoors, the sunshine. Oh my goodness, sunshine changes the game for you. I like the Lakewood area if you like an area that's kind of outside of the city, but if you're like, I want to be in the city-ish area, Capitol Hill. I lived there like 4 times. I think Capitol Hill gives you like the best true sense of Denver. If you're single, maybe Capitol Hill is not the best if you have like 3 kids. It's a little bit wily, gets it a little bit rambunctious. I stayed in the Lakewood area until I got my first sales job. That also helped me bounce around to a couple of different areas. But those are also some of the things that I thought was totally different. Like my perception of money coming from like a poor place in Youngstown to Denver. Like I used to think anyone that had like a BMW was rich. And then I came on here, I was like, okay. So I left Lakewood and I moved over to Belmar, which is still Lakewood, but it's like the hub of Lakewood. And because I'm still on foot patrol and riding my bike, it was a nice spot to be. So I lived in Belmar. I went to Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill is amazing because you walk everywhere. After that, I moved up to the Highlands. The Highlands is an area that is now an expensive area to be. I was right next to the 24-hour fitness up there. It used to be a sunflower market. Now it's a Sprouts. But behind that place on Wolf Street is this old building. It looked like it used to maybe be an old hotel. It was a bucks, but I got a 2-bedroom, 1-bath place, $600. Insane. Like I will never pay that little for rent ever again. But the Highlands is great. I was there right around like 2009 when everyone was just coming into the area and starting to fix up those old houses. And Denver has changed so much. So like the Highlands is totally different now. There's a lot more shopping. It's a lot cooler. And when I came into Denver like 2008, that's when things really started to explode. So I've definitely seen all the growth struggles that we've had with like traffic and the population growth, and the prices for freaking drinks have gone crazy. And cocktails, charging $17 for a cocktail out here. Get out of here. But I've also seen great things like the rise and fall of the Broncos. I felt it was okay to jump on with the Broncos. I think they had some of the best uniforms. They first had like that orange stripe stripe down the side, which looked dope. Not many teams had that style yet. But they also had Jake Cutthroat Color. I hated him. And then Kyle Orton, and they were like Peyton Hillis right before we got Peyton Manning. I don't know, I'm trying to give you my street cred for sports and why it's okay for me to like the Broncos, but I'm just saying I liked them before they were good. Now they suck again. I guess it's okay. Russell Wilson, what the f? I also have seen like all the construction, all the housing boom, everything like that, and the identity change of this city. The nice thing about moving to Denver, if you're not from here, is that nobody's really from here anymore. And so everyone, I feel, is very open and welcoming to people that aren't from here, because they're not from here either. But with that, I feel like it doesn't have a really like strong identity. Like if you go like Cleveland, Youngstown, Pittsburgh, some of those like East Coast cities, people that live there stay there, and so it's got a vibe, it's got a culture. And I feel like Denver, just everyone's from everywhere, and so that's another reason why I think we absolutely are horrific at driving out. We're not horrific, but we suck. But you have to extend some grace, because we have people from Texas, we have people from Florida, we have people from California, and they suck at driving in the snow, and they're not used to it. So we just have so many levels of driving conditions, and people are used to it. Driving kind of sucks out here. So now let me tell you why Mr. Murphy is leaving. I decided that I needed to find out if I'm City Boy Sean or if I'm Mountain Murph. And I had the opportunity to move to the mountains, and so I did. I have been a city boy my whole life. I've lived in Youngstown, which is a steel town. When I say Ohio, I know a lot of people think like cows and pastures and white trash, and I am white trash for sure. My roots are solid in white trash, but I'm like blue collar white trash.
Yeah, I'm kind of outlaw through and through, baby.
But yeah, I've never lived in the mountains before, and I think all of us on a lot of people's like vision boards, they're like travel, a place by the beach, or a place in the mountains. And so I had an opportunity to move up to the mountains, to grow the channel in the mountains. I love the mountains. I love the homes up here. I love just the terrain. If I die, it's probably gonna be me driving off the road as I'm gawking at some gorgeous house and thinking like, how do they even get up there? Let's hope that doesn't happen. I wanted to move up to the mountains, and so here I am. I'm up in Evergreen, Colorado. One of the big things that I was worried about moving to the mountains, while am I really gonna hate not having things that are super accessible to me, like takeout food, because I always used to eat out or have food delivered. And I will say it's not that big of a deal to me yet, because I have Evergreen, like downtown Evergreen is right there. So if I want to go down there, I can. But I'm also, like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm like an extroverted introvert or introverted extrovert. Either way, I'm totally fine being by myself. And so one of my worries about moving up to the mountains is like, am I never gonna want to leave my place and just stay here? And I think it's a good mix. It's like, yes, I sometimes don't ever want to leave my place, but if I do, I'm like going on a hike, or I can go downtown. If I do have to leave for showings and stuff like that, that helps draw me out. I'm totally fine being here. If I get snowed in, awesome. If I do need to go somewhere not too far, I have less FOMO in the sense that Denver has so many things going on, and I got a lot of homies down there that there's always somebody's house to stop by or party to go to, or we're gonna go have a drink here. And so like that has gone down a little bit, but in a good way for me. Because if I do go out, I like to shake my butt, I like to dance, I like to have a good time. So it's actually good not to have as much of that distraction. I like it. So far, City Boy Sean is still a thing. I could totally see myself living back in Denver. I mean, I could see myself living in one of the areas north, and being up here in Evergreen so far has been a really great experience for me. I realized Mountain Murph, definitely a thing. City Boy Sean, yo, he's still here. I'm happy so far. Whether you're like downtown or you're a mountain person, I feel like I'm a great advocate only because I've had these experiences, and I'm super happy here. The one thing though that has not changed, whether I'm in the mountains or I'm in the city, everywhere I go, I still love Colorado. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you loved a little bit learning about Mr. Murphy here. I hope it wasn't too boring. And yeah, if anything I could do to help you guys out, let me know. I want to do some live streams with you guys so I can actually have more conversation, because I feel it's like one way right now where I'm just talking at you. But I want to hear like what's going on, answer your guys' questions live. So look for that in 2003. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, give this a like so more people can see it, and Love you guys. See ya.